Get comfortable with English in comfort. This is your English listening practice podcast to help you learn and improve naturally.
Hey there, and welcome to English in Comfort. Today, we're talking about something we all experience, introducing ourselves. It's such a common situation, but let's be honest, it can be tricky. Have you ever been in a situation where someone asks you to talk about yourself, and your mind just goes blank? You freeze, and suddenly, you don't know what to say. Well, you're not alone. In this video, we'll show you natural and simple ways to introduce yourself in everyday conversations. You'll hear Liam and Jesse getting to know each other, and as you listen, pay attention to how they ask questions, share information, and keep the conversation flowing.
So, Jesse, tell me a little about yourself. What's something interesting about you?
Well, let's see. I grew up in a small town and I've always loved being outdoors. Hiking and camping are some of my favorite things to do. What about you? Do you enjoy nature?
Yeah, I do, but I'm more of a beach person. Something about the sound of waves is so relaxing. So, other than outdoor stuff, what else do you like to do?
Oh, I'm really into photography. I love capturing moments, especially when I travel. It's like you can freeze a memory forever. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's such a cool hobby. Do you have a favorite place you photographed?
Definitely. Last year, I went to the mountains during winter and everything was covered in snow. It felt like a postcard. I got some amazing shots. I'll show you sometime.
I'd love that. You sound like someone who's always exploring. So, do you do photography as a job, or is it more of a hobby?
Oh, it's just a hobby for now. For work, I'm actually a graphic designer. I create logos and illustrations for small businesses. It's creative and keeps me on my toes. What about you? What do you do?
That sounds like a fun job. I'm actually a teacher. I work with high school students, teaching history. It's a challenge sometimes, but I enjoy it.
Wow, teaching sounds so rewarding. I bet your students love you. So, does your job leave you with much free time?
It can get busy, especially during exam season, but I try to make time for hobbies. Speaking of free time, what's a typical day like for you?
Well, my mornings usually start with coffee. Can't function without it. Then I spend most of the day working on projects. In the evening, I like to unwind by reading or watching a good show. Pretty simple, but it works for me.
That sounds nice. Do you have any favorite books or shows?
I'm a big fan of mystery novels, and as for shows, anything with a good storyline grabs my attention. I've been talking so much about myself. What about you? What do you do to relax after a long day of teaching?
When I get home, I like to cook. It's kind of my therapy. I'll put on some music, try out a new recipe, and just unwind in the kitchen.
Cooking? That's awesome. Do you have a signature dish?
Probably my pasta. I've been experimenting with homemade sauces lately, and it's been a hit with my friends. How about you? Are you into cooking?
I enjoy cooking sometimes, but I wouldn't say I'm great at it. I usually stick to easy recipes, nothing too fancy. Your pasta sounds amazing, though.
Thanks. Next time we meet, I'll bring you a portion to try. So, aside from cooking, I've also been getting into running. It helps me clear my head and stay active.
That's impressive. I've always wanted to try running, but I'm not sure I have the discipline for it. How do you stay motivated?
Honestly, some days are harder than others. But I set small goals, like running for 20 minutes, and it becomes easier over time. Plus, it's a great way to explore new places.
I can see that. Maybe I'll give it a shot someday. You've got some really cool hobbies. You mentioned you're a teacher and into cooking and running. But tell me more. Where are you from originally?
Well, I'm from a small town about 2 hours away from here. It's one of those places where everyone knows everyone. Growing up there was nice, but I always knew I wanted to move to a bigger city.
I get that. The energy of a city can be so inspiring. Did you always know you wanted to be a teacher?
Not at all. When I was younger, I thought I'd be a writer. I used to jot down short stories and dream about publishing a book one day. But during college, I started tutoring other students, and I realized how rewarding teaching could be.
That's such a meaningful path. Do you still write, though?
Sometimes. It's more of a hobby now. I keep a journal and occasionally write poems or short essays. How about you? Did you always see yourself becoming a graphic designer?
Not really. As a kid, I loved drawing, but I thought it would stay a hobby. It wasn't until I took a digital art class in high school that I realized I could turn it into a career.
That's so cool. It must feel amazing to create something that's uniquely yours. Do you ever think about branching out? Maybe starting your own business?
I've thought about it, but it feels like a big leap. Maybe someday, when I feel ready. For now, I'm happy building my skills and learning more about the industry.
That's a smart approach. It sounds like you've got a lot of potential. I'm sure you'll make it happen when the time is right.
So, what's something you're working toward right now? Any big goals?
I've been thinking about getting my master's degree in education. I want to specialize in teaching English as a second language. I feel like it would open up more opportunities and help me connect with students on a deeper level.
That's such a meaningful goal. I can see how passionate you are about teaching. What's holding you back from starting?
Time, mostly. Between work and everything else, it's hard to find the right balance. Plus, it's a big financial commitment, so I'm saving up for it. How about you? Do you have any goals you're working toward?
I do. I've been thinking about improving my public speaking skills. I get really nervous when I have to present my work to clients, and I feel like it's holding me back professionally.
Public speaking can be tough. Have you thought about taking a class or joining a group like Toastmasters? I've heard it really helps people gain confidence.
I've considered it, but it feels a bit intimidating. I think I might start small, maybe by practicing with friends or recording myself to see where I can improve.
That's a great idea. Taking small steps makes it less overwhelming. You've got this.
Thanks. It's nice to talk about these things with someone who understands. I feel like we all have these goals that seem so big until we break them down.
And honestly, it's all about progress, not perfection. I think as long as we keep moving forward, we're doing fine.
This has been such a great conversation. It's nice to reflect on where we've been, where we're going, and the little things that make us who we are.
Absolutely.
Talking about ourselves can feel a little awkward sometimes, but it's such an important skill, especially when meeting new people or making connections. Now it's your turn. Why not practice introducing yourself in the comments? Share a bit about who you are, your name, hobbies, or anything you'd like. It's a great way to get comfortable talking about yourself in English. And if you're feeling nervous about it, don't worry. Remember, it's all about starting small and improving little by little. We'd love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, English in Comfort, for more cozy and practical English learning videos. And if there's a topic you'd like us to cover, let us know in the comments. We're always looking for ways to help you improve your English in real, everyday situations. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care and keep practicing.